Hello everyone, hope you're all doing good. So today we are here for grade 10 maths. The chapter today we discussed that is Algebra review, and the lesson today we covered that is the third lesson. Okay, first and two lesson is already. So here's the third lesson, that is properties of exponents. Okay, so as we can see that there are different basically steps to finding it out. There is a product rule, then the quotient rule, and all the rules for that. Okay, so the first question is here, it's all about the basically product and as well as the quotient rule. So there are different kinds of rules related to that one. Okay, so it's y power 4 into y power minus 5. Let's see, let's suppose I'm going to write it here. Bases are same here. Okay, so what is the first base here? So the first base is y. They are saying that it's y. So there are different kinds of rule for that. Let me just write it. So here it's y power 4 and it's y power 5. All right, and here is the product. What does it mean? It means that bases are same, so you're just going to add the powers only. Okay, 4 plus 5 is 9. That's it. If the bases are not same, now let's suppose if I'm going to write it here, y power 4 and x power 5, so this should not be added. Why? It because like only the base is same, so power would be added. Okay, now there is also the quotient rule for that. Let's suppose in the quotient rule, how can we basically solve it? Let's suppose this is y power 6 and here is y power 9. Are you guys able to hear my voice properly? Okay, so let's suppose y power 6 and y power 9. So how can we do it? You just put it again, the basis is same, but only the power should be minus now. In the product rule, powers is added like this way, and in the basically quotient rule, the power is subtraction. Okay, so we just minus their powers. So as 6 minus 9 is minus 3, and that is your answer. Okay, so this is the way that we do it. Let's suppose now this is the product and if both the product and quotient rule comes together, then how can we solve it? Let's suppose x power 2 and then there is a product x power 5 and then x power 7. So how can we solve it? Or x power, you can say that it's 9. So first of all, we just solve it the product rule. So the power same, base is same, so power should be added. X and 2 plus 5. So what is the answer? And this should be same, x power 9. Okay, now x 5 plus 2 is 7 and then here x power 9. Now there is a basically quotient rule, so what we do, we're just going to minus 7 minus 9. Only x is as it is here. So what is the answer of 7 minus 9? That is minus 2. If you want to put it like this way, or if you want to put it in the form of denominator, so this become positive. Both answers are right. Okay, this is basically the product and the quotient rules for that. Now, what is the rule for this one? Like, if you have a numbers like this way, the number inside of the bracket and then the number comes outside of the bracket, so these two numbers should be direct multiply with each other and also their signs. Okay, let's suppose if I'm going to write it here, the question, x power 9 into minus 2. So what does it mean? It means that these both are directly multiply with each other. So x power 9 times into minus 2. So x power 9 times 2 is 18, and there is a minus sign, so you just put it x power minus 18. And if you put it like this way, both the negative signs, like here is minus 2 and here is minus 3. So the same thing we follow x as it is. 2 and 3 should multiply with each other. 2 times 3 is 6. Negative negative becomes positive. So this is x positive 6, and you can also write it just x over power 6. Okay. Now what we do next? Look at here. If you have both negative sign like this way, and if you have the negative sign outside of this, there is also a question if the negative sign inside, this is also same, and then there is no negative sign outside. Okay, just only. So how can we solve it? It's the simple thing. 5 times 3 is 15, and then just put the negative sign. It's same just like that one. If there are two negative signs, you just turn to be positive. So it's multiplication now. Okay, these are the rules, and there is also the rules. We are just going to write it. Something like in the form of denominators, so you just put turned it. If let's suppose here is something 2 power minus 5, so you just move up and then their power becomes positive. Okay, so these are basically, let's write this is first. Now what is second? If something is multiply, or you're just going to write it here 2. Let's suppose here is 2 power 7 and 2 power 3. So now what we do? 2 as it is, and then 7 plus 3, and then 2 into power of 10. Okay, now let's suppose if some numbers are here, rule third, and then the 1 is on the top, so the only the number which is 1 is on the top, you can get the answer of that number. But if the number you have a 0 on the top power, so your answer should always be 1, it not be 0. Okay, so you just always put your answer 1, not 0. 2 power 1 is 2 and 2 power 0 is 1. Now the quotient rule, it's 2 power 7 and 2 power 9. So how can we solve it? It's 2 power 7 minus 9. Quotient is, if that is the multiplier, so you just minus it. So 2 power minus 2. And if you want to turn it, so this become 2 power 2. It turned to be positive. Okay, so these are some rules. So let's start from the first rule. What is the first rule? This is a rule of negative exponent rule. Okay, then this is a power of product rule. This one is 1 exponent rule. This is 0 exponent rule. This is power of quotient rule, and that's it. Okay, now this is just a quotient and product rule. Now let's write the power of the basically product rule. As we know that this is a power of the product rule, so this one direct multiply. 3 times 5 is 15. This is a basically power of the product rule. Okay, this is power of power rule. This is the power of power rule. All right. And now one more rule is, let's suppose here is some numbers like this is I'm just going to write it here, x, and then it's y, and both have the same power, that is 2. So how can we write it? We're just separating out. Okay, x power 2, y power 2. This becomes the power of the product rule. This is also comes in the form of exponent. Same thing as we follow x over y, and there is power 2. So how can we do it? This is x power 2 separate and y power 2 separate. Let's suppose if I'm going to solve a question related to that. I'm just choosing a question here. 3 times 5, and both comes under here 7. What does it mean? 3 power 7, and then it's 5 power 7. This is the power of the product rule. All right. The same thing comes, let's suppose 3 by 5, and then comes it's in the form of quotient rule. So you just separating it out like this way. This is the power of the quotient rule. These are all rules of exponents as we discussed it here. Okay. Now let's do some test questions, or let's checking it out. Is there anything? Yeah. Let's suppose there are 2 to 3 values. So you can also do the same thing. Let's suppose here is 3 values that comes x power 2, then x power 5, or you can say that x power 7 minus 7. How can we do it? We just putting it out x here, just adding. Here is 5, sorry. X, now 2 plus 5 is 7, plus into minus 7, and then x power 7 minus 7 is 0. Any number which have 0 power, that comes to the 1. Okay, this is the way. Otherwise, if you have some other numbers, let's suppose there is 2, there is 3, so you are doing like same way. Okay, that's it. Okay, this is the way that we do it. All right, let's discuss the fourth lesson, simplify the radical expressions. So how can we solve the radical expression? We're just checking it out. If the number outside of this way, all right, sorry about that. So 5 into square root 7, and then 6 into square root 7. So 5 into square root 7 minus 6 into square root 7. If you have a radical expression like this way, so we are just going to only solve number which is outside of this radical expression. Okay, so here we just put it 5 minus 6, and outside of this I'm going to put it square root 7. It's minus 1, and then square root 7, just simply multiply this is minus into square root 7, and that is our answer. All right, minus 6 into square root 2 and minus 3 into square root 2. This is also the same thing. If I'm going to put it, it's minus, yeah, it's the minus sign here. So square root 3 comes outside, only just solving minus 6 minus 2. What is the answer? Minus 6 minus 2. Or if you want to put square root to this side, it's up to you. Minus 6 and minus 2 is minus 8. So it's minus 8 square root through. That is your answer. Okay. These are all the same questions. You're just going to solve it. Or otherwise, sometime we're just going to take the factors for that numbers and then just placing it out. Here is 490 and then square root. Let's do this one. Okay. Let's suppose if I'm going to take it's 24, then I'm going to take it here x square and y. First of all, I'm going to choose the factor of that one. Okay, like this way if you want to do it. So what are the factors? We're gonna put it out here. It's 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times x square and y. Okay, we are just going to take it here 24 x square y, just taking the factors for 24. This is 2 times 12, 2 times 6 is 12, and 2 times 3 is 6. And then just placing in place of 24, we are putting the factors 2 2 2 3 x square y. Now we make the square terms. Like how? We're just going to put 2 into power of 2 because this square root power is 1 by 2. So 2 are combined here. 1 2 is left, so that is it. There is only 1 3, so this is it. And there is x square and y. This 2 should be cancelled to this one. This 2 is also cancelled to this one. So these both comes out of the square root. This become 2 and x. Now the number inside of it, this is 2 times 3 times x times y, sorry. Now this is 2 and x. This is comes outside of this, and now this should be multiplied. If you want to multiply it, this is also your answer. Okay, this is the way that we do it for this one. Let's suppose if I'm going to write it here, for example, now you guys tell me. Okay, this is 12 x cube. Let's take some kind of complicated. Okay, x cube y square and z 5. Let's take this one. So first of all, let's make a factor of 12. What's for that? 2 times 6, 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, so in place of this 12, I'm just going to put 2 2 and 3. Let's putting it out. 2 times 2 times 3 and all other values, x cube y square and z 5. Now just combining. Okay, I'm just going to make the fact this is 2 and 2 power, now 3. Now this is x cube. What does it mean? It means that this is x square and now 1x here. Already x square y square here. Now for z, it makes z square and then z. Okay, so this should be cancelled, this should be cancelled, this should be cancelled, this one and this one. How many terms that is cancelled? 2 x y, this is z, this is z. Okay, 2z comes outside, so this become z square and then which terms inside? 3, 1x and 1z, and that is your answer. This is the way that we do it in all these kind of questions. What we do, it's just about that, like you are first of all taking the, basically if you have a question inside of the square root, you are making the square terms like that. Okay, like in this way, 2 power 2 square x square, then y square, then z square, this z square, in that kind. And then in the end you are just going to take the simple, basically comes outside, and which number is left you are putting inside of the square root. This is also radical, so this is the basically radical expressions. If you have a question like this way, you are just going to solve the number which is outside of the square root, because if the square roots are same, so this is just taking the common as outside, only solving the number which is comes outside of the square root, solving it out and just like writing. And if the numbers inside of the square root, you're first of all taking the factors for that, making factors here, and then just solving like this way. Okay, let's see, is there any other kind of question is given? Let's suppose here is the question that is given. If you have a numbers like it's 28, now you guys solve it. Okay, w cube, now it's given here the cube term. So how can we do it? What is the first step that we will take? First of all, we are going to make the factors. Okay, for 28. Okay, now just putting it inside of this 2 times 2 times 7 times w cube. Now making the square terms. This is the square terms. So this is 2 and 2. So we just make the square. 2 power 2. Then 7 as it is. Then for w making the power 2. And then 1w as it is. Okay. Now this should be cancelled. This should be cancelled. So it comes outside 2 and w. What's left inside? 7 and w is left inside of this one. Okay. This is the way that we do it. Now let's start some test questions. So we have done, this is the radical expressions for that. Okay, now let's start some test questions. So square root 20, let's do it. This is also the same thing. So here is 20, 2 times 10 is 20. First of all, making the factors for that, 2 times 5 is 10. So what's for that? It's 2 times 2 times 5. Okay, now making the square terms for that, 2 power 2, because this is 1 and 2, and times 5 as it is. This 2 should be cancelled, so it comes outside of the square root, and 5 as it is inside. So this is the simplification of this square root 20. Let's see, is there any answer for 2 into square root 5? Yes, it is here. This is the right answer. 126d square. It's 126d square. Now you guys solve it and then tell me. 126d square. Let's do it. Okay, 126. Okay, 2 times 6 is 12, 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 7. Okay, this is the factors. Let's put it. 2 times 3 times 3 times 7 times d square. It's 2 times 3 times 3 times 7, and then it's d square. Now what we do, we are putting 2 as it is. There is 1 3, there is 2 3, so just taking the power, it's 1 and 2, so I'm just putting 3 power 2, 7 as it is, d square as it is. Square terms comes outside because it should be cancelled with the square root, so this is 3 and d. Now which thing that is left inside, 2 and 7, so 2 times 7 is, you also put it like this way, or otherwise for simplification we are putting like this way. Okay, just multiply and then just put it. So 3d into 14 square root, 28w cube. Let's do it. So it's 28 w cube square root. Okay, now you guys tell me how to do it. It's 28 here, so 2 times 14, 2 times 7. Okay, now let's putting in place of 28, I'm just writing 2 times 2 times 7 times w cube. Now making the powers of 2 and 2. So this is 1 2 and 2, so this is 2 power 2, 7 as it is. Now let's make, this is w cube, so I'm just putting w square and then it's w. Okay, now the square terms should be cancelled with the square root, so this is 2 and w, so this should be cancelled, and the thing which is left, 7 and w inside of the square root. Let's see, is there any answer to w and 7, square root 7 and w? Now minus 2 into square root 2, minus 10 into square root 2, minus 2 into square root 2, minus 10 into square root 2. Just placing the number, this one, and then square root 2 as it is outside of this one. If there are two negative signs, so what we do, we just add up, but putting the sign with the greater number in the answer. Okay, so this is minus, minus becomes plus, so 2 plus 10 is 12, but which sign you put with it, the sign with the greater number. So what is the greater number here, the number which is greater, that is 10 here, so with the 10 it's negative sign, so you put it negative 12 and then it's square root 2 as it is, so minus 12 into square root 2. 12 and k power 7, let's do this one. It's 12 k power 7 and inside of the square root. Let's making the factor. 2 times 6 is 12 and 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 2 times 3 times k power 7. Now what we do, we're just going to make the basically factors. We are making the factors here, and now we're just taking the square terms. Okay, so here we combine these two terms, so this is 2 power 2, 3 as it is here. Now this is k7, so this become k2, k2, this is 4 6, sorry, 2 4 6, and then k single. Okay, let's split it, or otherwise you also put it like k3 into outside of this one, like this way, k3 like this way, as we have done in the previous lesson. So let's put it like this way, k power 2, k power 2, k power 2, and then it's k. These are the same bases. When you add it, it becomes 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1, total is 7. So now the two twos should be cancelled. So 2 is coming outside. How many k is outside? 1k, 2k, 3k. K and 3. I'm putting it out here. How many left inside? This is 3 and only 1k. So this is 2k cube, and now it's 3 and k. This is 2k cube and 3 into k, and that would be your answer. In this one, this is minus 6 square root 2 and minus 3 into square root 2. So what we do for that? We are just going to take the minus. It's minus 6 square root 2 and minus 3 into square root 2. Is that a question? Yeah. Now what we do? Just going to take this one inside of the bracket and then square root 2 outside. Minus minus plus 6 plus 3 is 9. Now which sign you put with it? The sign with the greater number, that is negative, and this become minus 9 into square root 2. And here is your answer. Okay, let's see, is there any answer? Minus 9 into square root 2. Hope you guys understand this lesson. Okay, so solve the rest of the test questions regarding this lesson by yourself. So today we discussed the grade 10 maths. The chapter today we discussed, that is algebra review, and the lessons today we covered, that is properties of exponents and simplify the radical expressions. These two lessons we covered. Hope you guys understand it, but if you still need any help in any of the question, then you can contact tutors by using this live chat button. Click on this, putting your name and department, and then just send. In this way you directly contact with the tutors. So before starting the next session, you guys make sure to practice all these questions regarding all these lesson, and see you in the next session. Have a great day, you all. Bye.